Hello everybody, welcome to another Nail Talk Live, and today our theme is competition nails, French manicure nails, because French manicure is back in the studio.
Yes, absolutely. So we're going to take a little bit in between. So it's the competitions, the very long, and then you have Salon Success. That's also competition, but more like the salon version of
A little bit shorter.
A little bit shorter, but still have the same points of view in perfection. Yeah.
And French manicure, of course, is totally your thing.
Yes, absolutely.
You're the queen of French.
Yeah.
The queen's
Queen of
number.
summer, yeah.
The queen's number. You don't know why we're saying this, but in Dutch we call the French manicure competitions het koningsnummer. And if I translate this literally, it is something like the king's number. Like the main event on a competition.
Yeah.
But of course, Debbie makes it a queen's number. Our guest today is Annelies again,
Hello.
and we're surrounded by your trophies.
Yes,
Because you've done many competitions.
yes, a lot of competitions.
And today you're going to demonstrate on Debbie how your version of the Salon Success competition French manicure nails made.
Absolutely.
So a lot to do.
Yeah.
We have a full show, so let's get started. So French manicure, the free edge, the white free edge, the smile line, and of course you're going to show this made with Prestige Acrylic powder. The real French manicure, a traditional French manicure in a way because it's pink and white, but we'll also show you different variations.
Yeah.
And I believe that Cerisa,
Yeah, Cerisa is going to show us a floral French manicure. Very beautiful. So it's in a different way. And we have Mirjam. Mirjam's going to show us like an inlay, funny French.
yeah, she calls it the funny French.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's a funny French, but it's a glamorous French and it's totally her trademark.
Yeah.
This nail is her nail. It screams Mirjam. And Yessica is going to show us many variations on the French manicure theme made with AirNails. Of course, last time she showed the 3D French, but these are wonderful ombre lace French nails.
Yeah,
Just
beautiful.
stunning.
Yeah.
So, you are going to show us the French manicure competition nail.
Yeah,
And you are part of the competition team of Debbie.
yeah.
And you've been training for how long now?
From 2016. So
For 3 years.
Yes.
And how is she doing?
Well, she's doing very well, as you can see. But of course, it was not always like that. So we started it like from a starting point, and she has her own way of doing things. So I think that we really was not a struggle, but we really had to find our way in how to get the best out of her. So the way of how she sees things and how she wants to make those nails and still add up to the points that you have to add up when you're doing a competition.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What is Annelies critical of her own work?
always, yes. A little bit too much sometimes because she can get so critical that she get lost in what she's doing. And sometimes, perfection is a very difficult thing.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to tell. I never have done a competition where I have seen literally the perfect flawless set. Some of them getting close by, but there is always something that you will see. And that is something that she needed to change in her point of view. Yeah.
Of these awards that are standing here, what is your favorite? What is the one you're most proud of?
Oh, that's the big one
That one.
at the second place of French. And this one is the first place, but it was my first time for the nail art.
Yeah?
And I was the only one for the first, the version student,
Yeah,
the version one. But I was the
division.
only one, so
Yeah.
I get exactly to the
You were
version
put
2.
in the higher division.
Yeah, and then it makes the first place.
Yeah.
So you won in a division above the
Yes.
actual division that you wanted
Yeah.
to participate in.
Yes,
Well,
Yeah.
that's a
So that's the
crowning
most,
moment.
Yeah, it was.
And you were already part of the Debbie's team?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The first time I was 2016. I was 7th, and 2017 I was 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
And last year I had little competitions, and
won.
2019 I had a lot of winning. First place, second place,
Good.
a lot
Good.
of, yeah.
Do you get a kick
Yes,
out of doing
absolutely,
the competitions?
yeah. And every time the level
Yeah,
It's
gets
higher.
higher.
more and more and more.
Yeah.
Well, I see your eyes shining.
Always.
Yeah. So, and I know the feeling of taking the best that you can do at that moment and make it happen. French manicure, Debbie. The term French manicure is a bit strange because you would expect white manicure
Yeah.
or pink manicure,
Yeah.
but it's a French manicure. So where does this come from?
Well, actually, in the past, I didn't know exactly what kind of book it was, but there was like, when you look into the past and you see, for like Cleopatra, who's very keen of having beautiful nails. She already used like gold edges, so the free edges of her nails, she colored it gold or black even to show, just for fashion, to have beautiful nails. However, to the ages, you see that the rich women, and especially the rich women from the Golden Age time, they would actually, scratch their nails on top of like white soap or
Talcum powder?
Yeah, talcum powder, and to make them look white, so they could actually see everyone that they were rich and they
Had
were
clean
rich,
nails.
clean nails. They didn't have to work like all the normal working people in that time that work a lot of course,
In the fields.
in the
and-
fields. Yes, exactly. And that was actually in the Golden Age. It was the French who really were.
The French nobility,
Nobility,
were trend-setting.
yeah,
and
yeah. But the whole Europe was, just full of French rich ladies who wanted to show that they were, exactly.
Their beautiful
They were
hands.
beautiful hands, yeah.
And that came also into the artificial nail industry, of course.
Eventually, it was like a fashion item that was keep on going in different kind of ways. Eventually, we got nail polish.
Yeah.
And then nail polish came with the white French tips, and then eventually the acrylics came, and there were not a lot of colors they could make. So we had transparent and white colors, and that is how French manicure, came
Into being.
Yeah.
What do you think makes the French manicure such a staple mark, such an important nail that keeps coming back in different variations?
I think if you look at all different nail shapes you see these days, you can see the influence of the French manicure. You can see the nail beds, and but the color, the French and the white with the pink of the coloration together, the combination, I think that is one of the things that makes the nails so look clean and so sophisticated and even naturally.
Yeah.
And I think, and you have a trend and everybody's like out of the box in colors and different shapes, and then you get the trend that everybody is a little
Goes
bit more
back into the box.
Yeah, back into the box again, and then pop, there's the French manicure again. It's a very difficult nail to make.
Yeah. Because of its simplicity.
Yes.
It is so clearly visible. What is your favorite part in a French manicure nail?
The smile line.
The smile line. I think for most people it's the smile line. And you have your trademark is really, your handwriting creates mostly a rounded smile line.
Yeah.
And we spoke earlier that you were training on getting it perhaps a little bit more oval, but that went really against your nature.
Yes. It
It
won't.
didn't click.
No.
Yeah.
It didn't click up
No,
there.
it's not in my fingers, so
Yeah.
I tried, but it doesn't still work for me.
For the salon success, a more rounded smile line is also okay, yeah? Because it gives a more neutral look. While your trademark is really the deep V.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
deep oval nail
Yeah.
bed.
Yeah. The oval nail bed. I can make round nail beds as well, but I just do prefer the deeper smile line, and that is a taste, I think. When you're doing French manicure, I don't think you have to do like an oval smile line or you must do a round smile line. The thing is that you need to be consistent.
Yeah.
And if you are more consistent in making a little bit roundish smile line, that's fine, because you know, if they are equally on every nail, that is what makes the full complete set beautiful.
Yeah.
And do you have like a more oval? It's harder to do. It's more difficult to keep them all in the same line, and
But I also think, but correct me if I'm wrong, that your style of making nails is a little bit more tapered.
Yes.
Your style in doing nails is more box square, so really square. And I think, my feeling, is that the rounded smile fits better also to the box square, while the V smile really fits better to the tapered nail, because it visually enhances the tapering.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I totally agree with that. When you look at competitions, you also really need to read the rules, because in some competition you're not allowed to make tapered nails. So if I'm doing a competition that it's not allowed to have tapered nails, and you have to make straight nails like box nails, then I will choose to have a little bit of roundish smile line as well, just to make it more fit in the whole image of a more balanced nail.
The most important part, let's rephrase this. What is, in your opinion, the most important part of the perfect set of competition nails?
Filing.
Filing. So if you don't file well, so you don't take the
scratches
off, so you cannot polish it.
Yeah, buff it to a high shine.
Yeah.
And in your opinion?
Do you mean when it's totally finished, or do you mean in the process of making it?
Well, both.
I think the process of making those nails is that you need to keep in mind it's a very thin nail. You don't use a much amount because you don't have time to really file, to do a lot of filing. So that means that everything needs to be more precise.
Yeah.
You need to be more precise in how to place the product. You need to be more precise in how much product you're taking, and you need to be precise when you're filing. So you're really soft and slow motions, but they have to mean something. So everything that you do
for a reason.
You do for a reason, So you have to think about what you're doing and not just doing it,
And then when in the final work, you want to get that wow effect, of course.
Yeah.
Because your hands go underneath the curtain, and then what is then at that moment the thing that sets it apart?
The things that set it apart is high shine and smile line. And the funny thing is that high shine and smile line is less points. But the highest points you can get eventually on your structures is like the concave, convex, and how your lower and upper arches are working together with very parallel lines. But when they go through the curtains and the judges see it, and you have a beautiful high shine with no scratches and a smile line that's consistent, they are like, wow.
Yeah.
And it's just immediately that the points, there will be a different way of judging than when they have to see through maybe scratches and see through a not perfect smile line, but the rest is totally perfect. It's a different approach.
You need to get the wow effect.
Yes, absolutely.
It'll have to be like, wow. Yeah. Well, somebody that also creates the wow effect when she does nails is, of course, Mirjam Zwart. Hi there, nice that you're watching me again. Today I'm going to show you how to create a fun French nail using Cerisa Sweeties color gels without sticky layer. I will work with power gel and I will add some nice loose glitters to my design. Please join me. I will start with a thin coat of power gel on the form to create the extension edge of the nail. Make sure that this extension edge is very thin and evenly applied. When it's applied, cure it for 1.5 minutes and then I will add the nail bed using Power Gel Nude. The whole elongation is made with the same color Power Gel. Of course, I will concentrate on making a nice smile line and cure this for 1.5 minutes. I will then remove the sticky layer and I will file the nail bed in the desired shape, filing on the surface of the nail bed and also on the wall of the nail bed. These steps will make it more easy to create a perfect looking end result. Make sure that the wall is filed vertically and is a sharp edge. The finishing touch is done with a thinner sapphire file. And I will remove all the dust particles and I will start with the colors. First, Cerisa Sweeties, the black one, Licorice. I will apply this to the extension edge and work later with the glitters on top of this. I will first make the wall of the smile line, creating the deep sharp smile line. Again, now I'm using Licorice. The second color I will apply against the black. This is Café Latte. Again, one of the Cerisa Sweeties colors. All these colors are applied with the same brush, the detailer number 3. A semi-bigger nail art brush. The last color is Peach from the Cerisa Sweeties and I apply this at the free edge. And I will blend these two together to create a more even end result. Now the colors are cured for 30 seconds in the twin light. Because Cerisa Sweeties don't have a sticky layer, I add a little bit of base on top to adhere my glitters. I will first add base on top over the entire extension edge and cure this for 10 seconds in the twin light. Then I'll take pink iris loose glitter using my fan brush, applying this to the sticky layer. And I will add some loose glitters with some base on top, apply this on top of the nail, and using this I will adhere the coarser loose glitter to the free edge. Together with the glitters, the nail goes back in the twin light for a full cure, and then I add Power Gel Clear to the nail to finish the whole nail and to cap the glitters. The nail has been cured for about 20 seconds and now try to pinch the nail. I will first test this using the tweezers and then apply even pressure on both sides, finishing with a pinching clamp, a transparent one. After 1.5 minutes curing, I remove the sticky layer and I will file the nail in the desired shape, starting at the free edge, working my way over the whole body of the nail. When the nail is finished, I will use my expert bit on 30,000 RPM to smooth everything out, and then I will buff the nail. I will finish the design with some rhinestones around the cuticle area. I will use gemstone gel to fixate the rhinestones and pick up the rhinestones with the Waxential tool. I apply the rhinestones evenly around the cuticle, creating the beautiful edge of the nail. I will cure this for 10 seconds in the twin light to fixate everything. After this step, I will finish the nail using Supreme Finish, a non-tacky top coat. And as you can see, a beautiful, shiny, glamorous nail. I hope you like this nail, that you are inspired. Good luck and see you next time. Always fun watching Mirjam making this nail.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's beautiful, and the rhinestones at the cuticle really finish it off. Huh?
Yeah, it's the finishing touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is also a finishing touch at a cuticle is the white moon, the half moon that you will create for us. I
Yes.
didn't mention that before, but it's so beautiful.
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah, me too. But first, you already applied your form.
Yes.
So can you take us through that form and tell us why the form is applied as it is?
I apply it because you can see you have a beautiful C curve.
Yeah, perhaps it's
Mm-hmm.
just hold it there. So yes. So the C curve is the tunnel of the nail from sidewall to sidewall.
De aansluiting.
Yeah, so it connects really well to the natural nail at the sides of the natural nail. Because your smile line, is it really going to go straight to here? Where does the tip of your smile line end?
There.
Okay, so really
In
high.
the corners. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, she's using the point where the natural nail leaves the sidewalls.
yeah,
The thing is that you really have to look at every nail, of course, if they at the same area and at the same height. If they're not, then you have to pick one and
Yeah,
make them all
the
equally.
reference.
Yes.
Yes, so you have one that is your reference, and that will be your guideline for all of the nails.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise they would all be crooked.
Yes. Yeah. Or
Which is also cool.
Yeah, or different. Yeah. If that is what
That
they
would
want
be
to
a fun
see.
French.
Yeah.
But anyhow, the angle of the form, it's really coming straight out of the finger.
Yes. When you make a competition nail,
Yeah,
we want it straight.
yeah,
But when you go the Salon French, shorter,
yeah,
sometimes I pick it up and then I lift a little bit.
yeah. Angle the form upward a little
Yeah.
bit.
And then it's like this.
Yeah, yeah. So then you get this.
Yeah. The products is getting.
And why
better.
do you do that?
Because when you put here the
The camouflage color.
camouflage
Yeah.
color and the white, it's getting in between better.
They
And-
connect better.
Yeah.
They bump into each other better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
En dit loopt mooier over.
Yeah,
And the total arch.
Yeah, the total arch,
Yes.
the upper arch, and you get a slightly thinner hairline.
Yeah.
When you want to create a straight nail, if you want to have a nail that's really curved down in the upper arch, then you can just hold it even a little bit more downwards, the form. But
Yeah.
if you want to have like a very straight nail, then straight or a little just tiny bit up.
Does that also help to create a deeper C curve?
Only at the edge, because
Yeah.
the thing is when you're placing it too high, you're losing, if you look into the tunnel, you will lose your view of the tunnel all the way from the extension edge up to the hyponychium of the natural nail.
You mean this?
Yeah, I mean this, like the tunnel when you look
Yeah.
inside. When you're placing your form higher, you get a little bit like this. So you're
And it
looking
flattens.
against the product and it's
Yeah.
more flattened inside of the nail. So for salon work, that's fine. For competition, you have to be careful not to put it up too high because that will cost you points, because then the upper and lower tunnels are not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, eh? Okay, let's get started. So you're going to start with the half moon.
Yes. So
You first have to loosen the cuticle a little bit, because the half moon actually goes almost underneath the proximal fold, I believe.
Yeah, yeah. And she already loosened it up doing the prep, but now she have to do it again to to really make sure that it's completely loose. Yeah.
And you're applying soft bond primer. This is optional, you don't need to use that, of course, but I'm a sucker for safety, so I love to use it. And so the first color that you're going to use is the natural white. And you find that the perfect shade for the half
Yes.
moon? So
'Cause it's,
semi-transparent?
Yeah.
Yeah, semi-transparent, but still giving enough cover to maybe hide a little bit of a natural Lunula.
And the amount that you take is really minimal. Well, that was not enough, so it's really minimal.
Yeah, so she dries it out on her
Brush
nail
wipe,
wipe. Yeah.
and then it goes down. This is a very small. So are you following the natural half moon of Debbie's nail?
Yeah, but not always, because not everybody had one.
It's one of the 7 beauties, to have half moons on all the nails.
On all 10 nails, though.
Yeah. Only have it on 2. On the thumbnails, of course. So you're following and you make a little curve, a wall, towards the middle of the nail and tapering it off towards the cuticle.
Yes.
And you're adding a little bit, really working very softly with the brush. Now you angle it down a little bit, just to help you create that wall.
Yeah, and the Lunula, if you want to create a half moon, you really need to be careful that it's not too much. And that it will just cover like a 1/5 of the natural nail bed. So now you're gonna pick up some camouflage. And you put it on top of the extension edge.
Yeah, to create the elongation. So, you're working with the tip of your brush now, concentrating on fading it into the natural nail. And the fading is, of course, very important, because if you have lines of demarcations now, it really, it contaminates the view of the nail.
Yeah, it almost looks like you have like a little bit of lifting going on there.
Yeah.
But that's not what's going on. It's just not blended in enough.
But it's tricky to do the blending, because it's like finding the balance between opacity and thinness of layer.
Yeah.
So it's tricky.
That's why you just start with the blending first. Then you have to make sure, and choosing the right color, of course, because if you have like a very pinkish, maybe sometimes bluish nail bed, and you choose for a very orange likely coverage, then you can blend as much as you want, but you never get the perfect coloration on a nail bed. No.
So you're taking another product now. This is opaque pink, which is semi-transparent.
Yeah, and I put it in the between the half moon and the camouflage.
Yeah, and the thing is now, of course, to make it attach to the half moon properly, also in the corners, to really cap the half moon almost.
Yeah, you really need to cap it to prevent that you get like a little spots in there that has not enough product.
Yeah.
And I fly with my brush over the nail.
Yes, you're almost caressing the product. Very soft touch, soft workings with the brush, really blending.
Yeah, and it makes the half moon even more natural when you're going on top of it a little with the opaque.
You're taking your white, the moment of truth. Of course, the white smile line application is where it all comes down to. Annelies takes a deep breath. And you first let it settle a little bit.
Yes.
You work it a little bit to the side. And what you don't really see well when you're watching the screen is that the finger is now angled a little bit towards Debbie, so that the white bleeds against the nail bed that is created.
Yeah, so it's gravity that will help you a little bit here. And when you're holding your nail and you form more downwards, then the gravity of the product will go also downwards.
And you will get a thick free edge.
Yeah, you get a thicker free edge. And by holding the finger a little bit more up, you're just helping the product, the gravity of the product more going against the smile line.
And you correct the smile line now, even though it's a reverse technique, because you are going to finish the nail later on with a tiny bit of clear powder.
Yes.
So you don't want to have it on top of the nail bed, because you cannot correct that. I remember the days, Debbie, when we had to do this on the natural nail bed, and the body heat was there as well.
Yeah.
And we still had to create a beautiful smile line. Those were the days.
Yeah.
Now we can fake everything with camouflage. Camouflage is like the foundation, but then for nails. You're really concentrated. Do you get a kick out of making a nail like this? Is
Always.
it a kind of meditation for you?
Yeah, I don't like to speak.
You don't like to speak. Well, we'll do the talking
Yes,
for
I
you.
know.
Yeah.
So she's now making it more even.
Yeah, she's making it more even. And as you can see, she's sharpening the smile line points.
Mhm.
What you can do at the other side, the smile line point is a little bit higher. So what you can do is take a little bit more of product and then just dry it out onto the natural, on your nail wipes.
Yeah, so if you're going to take extra white, you will just need a little bit more drier product.
Yeah, drier. So she will leave it on a nail wipe and just really make it dry, and then she will fill up and add a little bit more to get more both equal points on
Yeah.
both sides. Yeah.
Of course, the sides of the smile line are just as important as the deepest part.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That is the wow effect again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the drier makes it contain more pigment, so it becomes less visible, because if it's too wet, it becomes a little bit yellowish,
Yes.
and it bleeds away. So it just poof.
Yeah. And you have of course, the pinching moment when you're placing it too
Also,
wet.
yes, and
Then
you crack it, or you move
Yeah.
it while pinching.
And that is also a reason why we place clear a little bit on top of it, because the clear, because of this, it contains no pigments.
Yeah.
It will dry a little bit faster, so you get a very dry product placement on top of the nail, and you have faster time to pinch it.
Mm.
So you don't really have to wait all till the white is completely pinchable,
Cured.
because
Ah,
the
Oh,
clear
yeah.
will help you with
it's
that.
like a buffer, a
Yes.
pinching buffer.
Yes, yeah.
So this is now the moment of the clear.
Yeah.
So the nail, you're happy with the nail?
Mm-hmm.
Is it going how you like it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She really doesn't like to talk. So in the middle of the nail, and you start to go towards the cuticle area. And you told me, Debbie, that this is like applying red nail polish.
Yeah, it's like you really have to, like you can see, like she's polishing the clear on top of the nail. So not pressing really down. The reason why is because it needs to be flawless. You
Mhm.
don't want to have like your brush.
Indentations
Yeah,
or-
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And your whole body is moving while you are checking your work.
Oh, yeah, always.
Yeah.
Normally
know the
I
feeling. Yeah.
pull the finger up, and
Yeah, you can
but
see.
now it's a little bit. Under the cameras, it's different. You work different.
Yeah.
It's harder.
It's
But
harder.
it's okay.
No, you're kidding. Is it harder? Nah. We've never noticed that,
No.
Debbie? Okay, so now it's the moment. Now you have to wait for
Yeah.
it to
Yes.
polymerize. And the polymerization process with acrylics takes some time, but still, we need to pinch the nail.
Yeah.
And pinching the nail is actually deepening the C curve of the artificial nail.
Yeah, you put all the products. It goes. Yeah.
And the
Oh, no.
opinions are a little bit different about that, because some people say, okay, I pinch the product upward. Other people think it's pinching the product inward.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you best describe it, Debbie?
I think it's a combination of both,
Both, yes.
actually. If you don't have enough product, you cannot pinch it up. There needs to be some product in order to do something with
Mhm.
it. So if you have a very thin nail, you just fold it around to get a C curve. Actually, when you're doing a French manicure, you do both, because you have like the layer of the nail bed, and you have, of course, the C curve that you want to create.
Mhm.
So you need to do both, and Annelies does exactly the same thing. I angle my pinching tool in a way that I can do both. So I really
Yeah.
am focusing on folding it inward, but also pressing the product a little bit up.
You applied a little bit more clear
Yeah.
on the free edge. Why did you choose to do that now and not after the pinching?
I saw a little spot.
Yes, but won't
Mhm.
this influence the pinching?
No, not so much. Only
It's
when I
only-
pin. Yeah,
Yeah?
it's in the middle and not
Okay.
on the both sides.
Yeah.
this.
Risky. I would always choose to do that after the application when everything is done, but okay.
Yeah. It's depending on what you and where you need to place your product. If you need to put something more on the sides, then I will absolutely not do that. You do that after pinching. If there's something maybe in the middle, well, you can have a little bit of a gamble and you do it in the middle because you're not going to touch that with your pinching tool.
So she's a gambling person.
Yeah, but I think when you're doing competition, you need to gamble
Yeah,
because you have
that's
to
true.
make choices. Am I going to do it now, or am I going to do it later? What's the time? Am I good? Am I not good? So it's you have to think about everything what you're doing. Yeah.
You're tapping the nail to hear whether or
Yes.
not it's hard enough.
Mm-hmm.
With acrylic, it takes about 4 to 5 minutes after application before you can pinch, before it gets in the molding stage.
Mhm.
Did you ever do a competition, Debbie, that you weren't able to pinch correctly? Or that you had to use tricks?
Well, I think doing competition is knowing your tricks.
Yeah.
Because there are some you can train in your salon. You have the ideal conditions, and then you go to a competitions floor and you're sweating from your chair because it's so hot.
Mhm.
So you need to focus on going really fast. And yeah, sometimes I had a competition that it was so cold that you were not able to pinch the nail by the time you had 5 nails already
Mhm.
placed there. And sometimes you have competition. You start and in that way, and you end that you are too late with pinching. So
Yeah.
it's crazy. Yeah.
Okay, so you have your tool in your hand ready to go. So you will focus on the sidewall lines, I think.
Ja,
Is it still?
Yeah, what you can do to test is to place your tool already and see if the product is slipping away a little, then it's still too wet, and you cannot pinch all the way through. So
Yeah.
test it a little, not go like directly and give it the full power.
No, never do that.
No, just
No, that's
look
good
at the
advice.
sides. If you give it a little pinch, then look at the sides. Am I pushing some product away or not?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
if
yeah.
it's good, the product stays there. Then you go
And build up the pressure.
build up the pressure a little bit more.
Do you already see in your mind's eye how the degree of curvature that you want to achieve with the pinching? Or do you focus on the form, the shape?
Yes, on the form and the shape.
Is the C-curve the consequence? What is more important for you in your vision of the perfect nail? The straight sidewall lines or the deep C-curve?
The deep sea.
You would compensate the deep C
Yeah.
to get the straight lines.
Yeah.
And you?
I think if you want to if you want to create a deep C curve, you will get that by looking at the straight lines. Does that make sense?
Kan ik?
Yeah. But which of the two would you compensate in case it went wrong?
The C curve.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the wow effect of when it's going straight to the curtain, they see straight lines, and that will give you
They
a
will
wow.
check the C-curve afterwards, of course.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
So
point.
I will go for the straight lines.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll give you your pinching clamp because, of course, to keep the C-curve in place, it takes a little bit more time because now it needs to cure fully. And these clamps are made for competitions and, of course, are there to fixate everything that you can do the next nail, the next nail, and the next nail.
Yeah.
So while we are waiting for this to dry, we go to Yessica.
Hello.
Alrighty,
Now
here I'm
have,
back.
designs
I'm going to show you some more variations with AirNails Ombre French Manicure. So I'll combine all of this just to show you what the endless possibilities are. So please see what I'll do. Okay, first I'm going to again use the Deep Smile stencils, and I'll apply this where you would normally create the smile line. So my focus now is on the nail bed of the design. My base color is white, and now I'm going to use a petrol emerald shade of AirNails paint, and I'm focusing on the right sidewall line of the nail bed. And this is actually a vertical ombre. So it's really an ombre, but in the middle of the nail, going from emerald to white on the other side. So Don't spray too much, spray evenly, thin, and make sure that it cures in between. So spraying, adding a little bit more depth, a little bit more dimension, a little bit more character. Okay, now I'm going to remove this AirNails masking and I'm going to reapply it on top of the sprayed area. So make sure that it's nicely centered, and I will just use the nail bed that I sprayed now as an anchor point to reapply my AirNails masking. I'll make sure that it's nicely stuck down, and I will use this guideline to create the opposite ombre effect, but then on the free edge part of the nail. So on the left side of the nail I'm going to use the same color, emerald, same technique, just spraying a vertical ombre towards the middle of the nail, just to make it like almost like the mirror of the nail bed. So my focus is really on the side of the nail, and then fading it towards the middle of the nail. Of course, we'll remove the masking using the pointed tweezers, and here you go. Isn't this a great optical illusion? It's like French manicure, but then totally gone wild. I'm finishing it with Supreme Finish to give it a super high shine, and here it is. Cool. One stencil, one type of paint, one technique, and you'll have an amazing design. Cure it for 1.5 minutes in the twin light. And then this is the end result. Super cool. Really amazing, of course. You can also create some other funky designs. So I'll show you another thing. I'm using a light background, a pink background, and now I use the same masking but right around the half moon area of the natural nail. So more upward. And I'll take neon color AirNails paint. Just spraying it first a little bit, semi-transparent, and now I'll focus on the edge of the half moon, on the edge of my masking, to create like a deep sea. Then take it off and turn it around. And make sure that you put your masking on top of the half moon, but that it really, that the rounded part matches, almost touches the half moon that you created. And I'm focused on this area of the masking, the corner. So I'll just spray to create like I'll first start spraying on the stencil, and then I'll work my way down to create a beautiful ombre, but then on the upper side of the half moon. So this is perhaps not a real French, but it's more like a French base around the half moon. Spraying, spraying, spraying. I'll take it off and just see. Isn't this cool? A lot of depth, dimension in the design. And of course, you could apply rhinestone over here, or some bullions, or something else. And when you finish it with Supreme Finish, this is the end result. Super cool. Just imagine this in a full set of neon pink nails or the soft shade. The next one, I'll do one more. So now I have a lilac purplish background using the same masking again, and now I'll apply it here at the half moon area. I will use a darker color just to give you more inspiration. Using purple, a deep purple shade, I will do the same thing, focusing first on the middle of my masking, then working my way towards the edge where it reaches the moon, creating the desired moon effect. Take the masking off using your trusted tweezers, and then apply it a little bit lower, because now I'm going to create the smile line, the free edge of the nail. So my focus is now on the free edge of the nail. So make sure that you cover the nail bed so that it doesn't get tacky with the paint, and I'll just follow the smile line, creating a beautiful, sharp, deep smile line. Here we go. spraying and spraying. Build up the color. Don't go too much in your first try. Just add a little bit by spraying a little bit more. Remove the AirNails masking and here you go. Isn't this cool? To finish everything, of course finishing with a supreme finish, but you can also give it a touch of glamour. For that I used a thin line with a liner gel silver on the free edge line, the smile line and around the half moon. The combination of silver with purple is really cool, and this is the end result. Nah, isn't this cool and festive? Just ideal for the Christmas days. These were my quick, fast French ombre designs. Later I will show you another one with another sizzle. Of course, I'll also teach this class on the 14th and 15th of December. Be there, AirNails. Bye, yes. See you.
Doing voiceovers is always a task in itself and quite a challenge. In the meantime, you already started your filing steps to speed up the process, and let's see where you're at now. So let us evaluate the nail first.
Normally I started on the front.
Yeah, but perhaps before you start filing, shall we just go through the elements that make this nail the nail?
Yeah.
Of course, here we have the sidewall lines. These need to be straight or tapered, depends on the competition.
Depends, yeah. There are different competitions where you can go a little bit tapered or go straight out. However, with a salon success, so you get more salon version, I will probably choose to just follow the straight lines of the natural nail because that makes it easier to see, and then you're always right. Yeah.
If we turn your finger a little bit, then we can see the side lines. So this is what we call the lower arch. This is the lower arch line.
Yeah.
So that we have a straight lower arch line. Here is what we call the upper arch. The upper arch is the total arch from the hairline to the cuticle of the natural nail. So this is the upper arch. If we then turn the finger upside down, we will see the concave, which is the inside part of the C curve.
Yeah.
And the convex, which is the outside part of the C curve.
It's the outside part. Let me see if I can get it correctly on the camera. Go
and
a little bit more like this.
And the edge of the nail is what we call the hairline.
Yeah.
Now, the apex. The apex of the nail is the highest part of the total upper arch. So this is the total upper arch, and the apex is here. The highest point of the nail.
Yes.
From the apex, everything tapers away.
Yeah, exactly.
So now we know these are the... Did I forget anything?
No, I think you're... Yeah.
So you start with your shaping.
Yeah, at the extension.
The length. You're using a 180 grit zebra file. Then you do your form, actually the form of the nail, so the sidewall lines on both sides. The cuticle area, using the rounded side of the file around the whole cuticle. And so you're now also filing on top of the half moon.
Yeah.
So it's, I think, important that you don't overfile this area.
No, this area needs to be very light touched. That's why it's so important when you're applying the half moon that you really are focusing with the point of your brush almost into the cuticle, because you don't want to file that much. It has to be very precise, so you don't, if you feel that with your cuticle pusher or with another tool, you're not allowed to feel any product over there.
Yeah.
It has to be fluently
flush into the natural nail.
into the natural nail, yeah. But you also have to be careful not file way too much, because then you will see shadowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, the half moon is beautiful. I really find it amazing. When you wear as a client half moons, that may not be the nicest thing, because after about 1.5 weeks you will have white spots in the middle of your nail. So you would need to do a quick fill or file it off.
Well, you still can do it. You can choose to do this if someone has not a half moon at all,
Yeah.
you can choose still to do it, but making them a little bit smaller. So when it grows out, it doesn't look like there is a white spot on top of the nail.
Yeah.
But keep it a little bit smaller.
Or airbrush it on.
Or airbrush it on. Yeah. Or sell them a do-at-home kit.
Just nail polish.
Just nail polish.
I see that you still have some little things that you want to fix. Of course, Annelies wants to create her best looking salon success nail. So let's have another look at Yessica.
Okay, a French manicure, but with a twist. And I'm already prepared a black base. I applied gel polish black as black twice. I removed the sticky layer and buffed it with a white block. So now we're going to start using AirNails Masking Deep French. I'll apply this on the tip, leaving the front part of the tip, of course, ready for the French. Then I'll take a loose piece of lace that I'll apply on top of this, and you can keep using this lace endlessly. So I'll just apply it where I want it and then wrap it around the ColourPop. And I'm using AirNails Paint White. And with this white I'm just going to spray through my lace, creating a marvelous and different kind of French. So building up my pressure, just releasing the AirNails paint to get the desired effect. My focus is on the actual smile line and then fading about halfway. Just spraying. Very cool. Take it away and already it's cool, but then of course I take the stencil off with my tweezers and here it goes. Isn't this cool as a French? Of course you can have different variations of this. So I'll show you another one. This is an oval one, but now I use the lace on the nail bed instead of the free edge. So two very cool French manicures with a twist. Well, I hope you liked it. Thank you for watching me and see you next time. See you, bye!
What I think we never mentioned is that we actually do the demos here at the table always in real time.
Yeah.
The movies, the little demonstration we film. So in this short little 2 minutes, you finish filed the nail,
Yeah.
and now you're going to remove the scratches using different buffers. I see here 3
Yeah.
on the table. So which ones are you going to
After
use?
the 180,
Yeah,
I go to the smooth operator.
smooth operator, which is a sponge buffer.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit thicker.
Then in the same file technique steps,
Yeah,
then you turn it on, go again,
following the same
following
procedure.
Yeah.
the whole time the same. Then you use the
These
new
are the new
hygienic.
hygienic buffers,
Yeah.
the buffers that are made on special request by Debbie.
Yes.
And it's a 340 grit and a 1500 grit.
Yes. And also
Using the same.
the same technique,
Okay.
same steps.
So you have one technique that
Be
you always
careful.
follow. Careful around the cuticle area.
Yeah, the 340 is very fine to use around the cuticle
Yeah.
because, it removes those little scratches. You don't want to remove too much product, and with the 340, it's just perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And now comes the application of the oil.
Een klein, ja. Toch, ik ben alles kwijt. Nail wipe.
Just using a little bit of seduction cuticle oil, you apply a drop to the surface of the nail. And why do you do this?
Yeah.
Debbie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, sorry. When I put it in.
No, I translated in English because I
Yeah.
know what she wants to say. When you're using oil, it's like an extra lubrication layer between your buffing and the nail. It's like the same when you have scratches in your car, and then you just need to polish it up by causing more friction, a heat fraction between two friction. Sorry, friction is something else. A friction. I don't want to have a fraction, but a friction between two layers, and it builds up, and that gives you a very smoother surface. So almost scratchless already before you even use the high shine. Yes.
Let's have a look at how the nail looks like now. Just let us have a look. And then, of course, you want to finish this. I know you want to finish this, but we'll keep the end result a surprise.
Yeah.
Because, of course, we need a surprise at the end. So let's have a look at what Cerisa is doing in her Floral French.
Hello again, it's me. So today I'm going to show you a floral French manicure. A French with a twist, very easy to create, very easy to do. For this design I'm going to use Cerisa Sweeties and in the color Licorice, a black color, without sticky layer. So it's really cool when you want to do a sugar effect, because it's not sticky after curing. Besides this color I will use glitter spray Pink Iris. So I'll use a little bit of gel and I'll first create my smile line. So first the center of the smile line and then just adding dots so that I have reference points. That makes it easier to create a deep smile line. In the center it's a little bit thicker. So I'll work around the center of the flower. So first I will create the center and then I will add glitter spray. Every time I use the glitter spray to fixate the color gel, and then I have to cure it because you have to make sure that it's fixated and doesn't run. Try to get them around each other like roses, the petals of a rose. Thinner ends to the lines. In the middle, the petals are very close to each other, so I'll spray a little bit of the glitter spray to make sure that it's all fixated. And cure it for about 10 seconds in the twin light. If you make very thin lines and you use a glitter that's too coarse, the thin lines become quite thick. So make sure that the balance between your glitter and your lines is proper. I will just add little leaves and elements here in the corners of the smile line, making sure that the whole nail or the free edge is finished. Make sure that you really turn the nail of your client in your hand so that you can clearly see what you're doing, and add just a hint of glimmer. Again, a cure of 10 seconds in the twin light. If you have removed all the loose glitters, you can finish the nail with all different types of effects. Matte or shiny. I really like to have the free edge matte, but I like to have the nail bed shiny. It's a little bit, it's not as easy as it seems, but I prefer to work with base and top, because I really like this color on camouflage colors, like the Camouflage Power Gel, Nude and Extender. So I'll take a little bit of base and top, and I'll work reverse. From the smile line towards the middle of the nail bed, one side and also the other side, making sure that I really have a tight fit around the cuticle, and then I turn my brush to work the opposite way, and I'll apply a little bit. The nail's cured. I removed the sticky layer, and this is the end result. I hope you like it. A beautiful contrast between matte, shine, shimmer and black roses. A floral French. Floral-tastic. Well, I hope you liked it, that you have inspiration, and see you next time. Bye!
Yeah, that was really cool. And you did an awesome job as well. Because you have been sweating here, buffing the nail to a super high shine. Are you happy? Are you ready to show it?
Yeah, I want
Yes.
to. Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, let's have a look. Your last steps. So you're using the ultimate shiner to get the ultimate shine. And you're buffing, concentrating on the middle now of the nail for the best reflection of a light. I love a buffed nail.
Yeah, me too.
So smooth
A
and
polished
even.
nail is just.
Yeah.
There are just a few.
It's a lost skill.
It is absolutely. It is a lost skill. Yeah. Look at this.
20 years ago, we buffed all the nails. And
Yeah.
nowadays, nobody does it. So, focusing on everything. Annelies, are you happy with your nails? Show it to us. Because I believe it's shiny enough now.
Yeah.
Beautiful. The half moon is really natural.
Yeah, it is very naturally.
Are you
You
now
wanna see the
hiding it?
curve?
What do you want to do? Okay.
Maybe. Oh yeah, that can
Okay,
close.
keep it still because now we have to see it properly. You see all the lights reflecting. It's a beautiful nail. Thank you for showing us, Annelies.
Thank you.
Really, you are what we call in Holland a toppertje.
Dankjewel.
Well, I hope that you also enjoyed this. Next week we have a show about problematic nails.
Yeah, probably a little bit of troubleshooting
Yeah.
actually. Yeah. And a male model.
That really bites his nails. So how do we fix that? But in a way that we won't really be able to see that it's artificial nails.
Yeah.
Big challenge.
Big challenge.
And you are going to do that.
Yay!
So, see you next week. See you next Nail Talk Live. Bye.
Bye.